9 a.m. family welcome, and then right arm night at 4:30 p.m. immediately followed at 5:30 p.m. by Friday Night Live. Moving into the Saturday the 18th starts the 8 a.m. Turkey Trot 5K at the Marion Bonner Trail. All right, continuing on to Monday the 20th at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Thanksgiving meal services will be at the Patriot Warrior Restaurant. And then on the 21st, starts an all-day event for the Turkey Bowl. So tailgating begins at noon. The games are throughout the day, and then the trophy will be presented at 5 p.m. that afternoon. Moving into Thursday. Thursday through Sunday is a JRTC and Fort Johnson Thanksgiving weekend. And then on Thursday the 23rd at 6 p.m., the boss is putting on a Thanksgiving dinner for soldiers at the Home of Heroes Rec Center. All right, and then moving on to the 30th, the last couple highlights there. On 6 a.m. is the Baton Memorial Death March qualifier at the Marion Bonner Rec site, and then the Boss Holiday donation ruck by the Boss team at Anvil Field. All right, moving into December, we're firmly entrenched in the Christmas season, even though Hallmark's been playing Christmas movies throughout the past month or so. On the 1st, we have the 10:30 a.m. post-retirement ceremony at the Warriors Center, and then the parades begin. So 1 p.m. is the Rose Pine Parade. That afternoon at 4 p.m., the spouse-owned business market kicks off the main post PX, coinciding also with the Snowflake Festival, which starts that day and runs into the next day. On that Saturday morning, the Bass Tournament, 9 a.m., Trees for Troops at the Clubs and Carts. And then the Snowflake Festival continues, and the tree lighting ceremony, the festivities began around 4:30 p.m. at the main post PX. And then that afternoon, the DeRitter Parade at 5 p.m. All right, moving on to the 5th, we have the CG's Quarterly Excellence Awards ceremony here at the Warriors Center. And then the next morning, we'll be back in here for our Wie. And then that afternoon at 5:30 p.m. is the college graduation recognition ceremony at the Bayou Theater for all our graduates over the past quarter. Moving into Friday, family welcome, and then the Garrison Commanders golf tournament that afternoon. So on Saturday at 7 a.m., Jingle Bells Run at the Warrior Hills Golf Course at 7 a.m., and then that afternoon at 5:30 p.m., Leesville Christmas Parade. And then moving into Sunday, we have the second Sunday brunch. And then the holiday train arrives, and it's going to make its stops throughout the area. So at 4 p.m. on Sunday, it'll be in Leesville at the CPKC yard. Moving on to the the DeRitter Beauregard Museum, right there downtown at 4 p.m. on Monday. And then on Tuesday, it'll be at the Railroad Museum in DeQuincy at the same time, 4 p.m. Moving on to the following Saturday, the 16th. At 10:55 a.m., Wreaths Across America ceremony at the Veterans Ceremony here, just north of Post. And then 1 p.m., Pictures with Santa begins at the Alligator Lake. That also coincides with the start of JRTC and Fort Johnson leave period. And through that, for the rest of the holiday season, no other highlights, pending any questions.
Real quick, just to clarify, November 30th, the Baton Death March and Boss's Holiday 5K, we're consolidating the start times and locations.
Okay,
just
sir.
to bring clarity to that. And
absolutely.
Baton
6 p.m.
Death guys will continue much farther.
Yes, sir.
And sir, I just wanted to throw out, so for the E3B ceremony, more for the Patriot team, but we would like to get a short video of all those newly earned badges. I don't know if Ms. Shelby's in here, but if we could just plan that in, it'll be a quick time block, but during that ceremony. Thanks.
I'll be followed by MWR.
Good morning. How's everyone today?
Morning.
Hey, everyone's awake. Great. My name is Stormy. I'm with DFMWR. So the G3 kind of covered several of the events that we're going to be doing in the month of November. We had a lot of events happen in October and just as many coming up this month following into the holiday season. So they mentioned Baton Death March. That is going to be on the 30th of November. That is a qualifier. So look for that marketing. You do have to register for that. The individuals that have the best times will actually be the Fort Johnson team to go to White Sands to march in the March Memorial Death March. So look for that marketing to come out. That's going to step off at 6 o'clock on the 30th of November. So a couple things on this slide to take note of is going to be the Turkey Bowl. Your units do have to register for the Turkey Bowl this year. It is on the website. If you already have a team in the flag football league, those teams can also qualify for the Turkey Bowl. We won't play all 15 games in one day. It is going to be a tournament style, so we'll have 5 games on the day of the Turkey Bowl. However, lots of incentives to bring out your units. We're going to have a Pack the Stands where we're giving away unit funds for those units that have the most participation. We'll have a tailgate area for all the units. We're doing Pass for Cash, very similar to Kicks for Cash if you've been to any of the high school games. Benoit will do $500 for an individual who wins the Pass for Cash for that. We'll have bounce houses out there for kids. Benoit's providing free food to everyone that's out there. So again, come out to this event, bring the units, everyone come out and support this. It'll be a great day. Other things that you see on here, Friday Night Live, Turkey Trot are coming in November. And then the last one at the bottom is Snowflake Festival. If you've been here for the last couple of years, you've seen our plywood Christmas card contest. This is a big one for our units. And we'll have that come out for registration. You do need to register for that. And again, the unit that wins takes home $500 unit funds. Next slide. Maybe previous slide then. Did I talk? Okay. So this slide right here, so a couple of things on here. Point out movie night is this Friday along with the golf tournament. Friday Night Live again coming back. At the top on the left-hand side, you see First in Fitness. This is a program that our CYS sports department does with our Vernon Parish school systems. They actually compete in the school systems to bring kids to Fort Johnson to compete against surrounding communities. So maybe one of your children is a lucky individual to come to that. But if you have kids, you are more than welcome to go watch. That starts at 9 o'clock at Perez Field on Friday as well. The Quality of Life Conference along with the AFAP Conference is coming up in November. So that yellow flyer that you see there, if you grab your phone, you can scan that QR code. So we need lots of suggestions coming in for the AFAP Conference. So if you have time, scan that code. You'll go to the Army Family Web Portal and you can put in issues that has arisen in your military career for us to look at during the AFAP Conference. That's all I have unless you have any questions. Awesome. Thank you. I'll be followed by Boss.
Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Specialist West with the Installation Boss President. Just wanted to take a quick second before I jump into the calendar and thank the Boss team and all the command teams who supported the events through October. We supported over 15 separate events outside of our typical battle rhythm in the month of October, and the volunteers really killed it. Not just the representatives, but the soldiers across the units did a phenomenal job at everything from haunted trails, haunted houses, haunted this, haunted that. So again, thank you guys for all you guys are doing out there. Now moving into the month of November, as ma'am just stated, the First Fitness, you'll notice it does show on Wednesday on our calendar. That has been moved to Friday after some updates were provided on our side. Looking on, yes, during the Turkey Bowl and the Thanksgiving Fest, as ma'am stated, we also have food that we'll be providing Thanksgiving for dinner at 1800. Now, in order to get the proper amount of food to everyone that's going to be there, I have to get the signups in by 6 November. The boss reps are already tracking. They're working it across the channels. But if you guys know anyone that would like to receive a meal, open to all active duty soldiers, just please make sure they get their sign up in by 6 November, please. On 10 November, we'll be opening up the signups to receive toys from the donation ruck. They will be given out 6, 7, and 8 December at the Boss Warehouse after we collect, consolidate, and organize. Again, 10 November, signups will open up. We'll provide online link, attachment via email, and paper copies as well, should families request that on our side. Also to highlight, on 15 November, we are doing a What's a Scoop, the free food and social. Really trying to take a heavy focus on holiday stress. The holidays can be a really stressful time for soldiers. Not everyone goes home, and we're very aware of that. So we do our best to try and come around and support our community during the holiday times. If you know someone that needs a hand, feel free to reach out, let us know, and we'll connect to the team. And then the last item we'd like to highlight is on 30 November, we'll be doing a toy donation ruck. Starts at 0630 at Anvil Field. We'll be walking about 1.1 miles, far shorter than the Baton Death March, of course. And we'll be dropping off toys at the Boss Warehouse. Soldiers, leaders, everyone welcome. Families, kids also welcome. Last year we even had a few pets who joined the holiday ruck. Feel free to dress festive, full 9 yards. Pending any questions or concerns, I'll be followed by family advocacy. Thank you.
Good morning. For family advocacy, as most of you know, October was Domestic Violence Awareness Month, so they did a bunch of stuff in October. They're continuing that push into November and through the holidays. Some of the stuff that they have coming up, they kicked off their Talk More, Fight Less class that started yesterday. That is a closed group, so what that means is for 4 weeks, the couple has to come and attend for those 4 weeks. The next one that has open enrollment is going to kick off 9 January after the holidays. This is an opportunity for couples to learn effective and healthy communication styles and mitigate some concerns with fighting, how to fight healthy. Both couples must attend for that class. The other opportunities that they have in November and December are for anger and stress management. So there's courses available for that on 9 November and 14 December. One of the other ones that they have started doing is for blended families, for step families. This is something that they have started that's new, and that's going to kick off January 25th. That also is a closed group that's going to be available for 4 weeks, ongoing for families. There's been an increase with blended families and how many we have across the installation, so that's a great opportunity to learn the different dynamics that come with a blended family. As you guys are aware, that there is a mandatory training for all service members for the annual dynamics of domestic violence. So that's offered through ACS as well. Pending any questions for FAP, I'm going to go into briefing on EFMP. EFMP is the Exceptional Family Member Program. We are offering opportunities right now and really need your guys' help and support in gaining some volunteers for the program specifically. We can always use the help for specifics with general administrative tasks, data entry, answering phone calls, helping with filing case files and that kind of stuff. There is a background check that's needed for those type of things. We can walk you through and do that at the ACS building, do the volunteer packet. Those hours will be tracked in VMIS for recognition for that. We also have some for events, planning events, being present for those events and helping with the various things that happen. It's usually outside of duty hours that those things take place from 17 to 1900 and sometimes on Saturdays. So any help is greatly appreciated. We have a multitude of opportunities for that. So any hours that can be delegated for EFMP, I would greatly appreciate that. That's all I have for EFMP. Pending any questions, I will be followed by BJAC.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jean Graves, and I'm the Public Affairs Officer for Bain Jones Army Community Hospital. I'm going to start down in the bottom left-hand corner. Flu shots are available at BJAC for all beneficiaries 6 months and up by appointment. Just call the appointment line, 337-531-3011, or you can scan the QR code over there on the right for the patient portal and schedule it through MHS Genesis. I did get a message on our Facebook page about pediatric flu shots and have confirmed that there is no such thing for kids under the age of 6 months to get a flu shot. So we have it for 6 months and up, and that's it. So other than that, there is not a flu shot available. Also on the left-hand side, on the right upper corner, you'll see a QR code for a flyer that's on your table. I have more of these if anyone wants any. But basically, we understand that this is a kind of a time of year where food insecurity might be an issue for a lot of folks in our community. It also can have negative impacts on your health. Primary care providers are probably going to ask some questions that may trigger to see if you, as the patient, are experiencing insecurities with food. But in the meantime, this flyer is available to anybody, and it'll take you to a dynamic flyer that has a list of all of the food resources in our area, both Vernon, Beauregard, and Rapides parishes. I will update this regularly. There's actually some more information I just received today. The Q Anywhere is not on our flyer or on the slide, but I did put a new flyer out for you. You can now Q Anywhere and pick up your prescription at the Script Center. So the Script Center is available 24/7 outside entrance A. So that's a great option for people who cannot get away from the office during normal business hours to pick up their prescriptions. And then finally, TRICARE open season is about to start, and I'm going to turn it over here for a quick minute to our lovely guest, Becky Jean from Humana.
Good morning, everyone. So just a reminder, TRICARE Open Season is coming up November the 12th through December the 13th. Anyone currently enrolled in a TRICARE plan, as long as you remain eligible, you don't have to do anything and you can stay in that plan. However, if you're wanting to switch plans, the open season is the time to do that. Those changes will go into effect on January 1 for the changes during open enrollment. Retirees and retirees and their dependents, obviously they have premiums that they have to pay, so as long as those premiums stay in effect, then they too can either remain enrolled in their plan or choose a different plan. There are 3 different plans. TRICARE Prime, you must live near or within the military facility to be eligible for TRICARE Prime. TRICARE Select is available everywhere. This allows dependents and retirees and their dependents to go where they want to. In other words, they just choose the provider. They don't have to have a referral. U.S. Family Health Plan. This program option works like TRICARE Prime, but it's only in 6 areas of the United States. It is here in the Leesville, DeRidder area. Any person that enrolls in U.S. Family Health Plan cannot get their care at the military facility because they have to use the civilian network for the U.S. Family Health Plan, and that's to include pharmacy. So any dependent currently enrolled in U.S. Family Health Plan, if they're wanting to switch, now would be a good time, and they could do that, and those changes go into effect on January 1. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Becky will be here for the remainder of the event, so if you have questions, feel free to ask her. And on every table, I did place this flyer that gives you all the breakdown of the different plans. It should be coming out via email, and if you follow us on Facebook, I'll have a lot of information coming out about this as open season starts. And I will be followed by the Retirement Service Office. I'm sorry. Religious Service Office, RSO, I'm sorry. I got retirement on the brain.
Good morning, everybody. I am not the Retirement Service Office, but I do love Miss Jean. So, my name is Krista Gross. I feel like I need to turn around and say hi to you guys. Good morning. I work at the Religious Support Office here at Fort Johnson. I am the Director of Religious Education. And this morning I want to share with you a few things that are going on at the Religious Support Office in the next, say, 3 to 6 weeks. You can see if you look at the slide there, our weekly schedule is rigorous. There's a common misconception that at the chapel we do Sundays and Sundays only. That is actually not the case. We are very busy. We invite you to peruse that schedule if you have people that you are caring for who you believe would benefit from being plugged into one of those religious education programs, that you simply reach out to your unit ministry team and or myself. You can see underneath that there is a QR code. That QR code is a lovely digital bulletin board where you can find every flyer and every point of contact that you should need from the Religious Support Office. If I were to put all of these flyers in your hand, they would end up on your car floor one day, maybe in the bottom of your purse or bag. It's much easier to do this digitally so that you can just scroll through and see what you need. So please use that as a resource. Also, it's important for you as leaders to know what religious observances are happening among the people you're caring for. So there's a list of them there. If you peruse down a little bit, you will see Army-Navy game. Not religious, but kind of religious. Go Army. And then on the right side of the slide, you can see we are braving the cold without a campfire this weekend and taking several youth of the chapel students camping here locally at Alligator Lake. There is still room for that, which is why that's up. If you have a teenager who's between the grades of 6 through 12 who is interested in participating in this Christian non-denomination youth group, we invite you to come and attend that trip. It's completely free, and it should be a great time. And then perhaps two of the most important things on this slide, Operation Helping Hands will take place this month. Operation Helping Hands is a program where we send gift cards into the units to help families who may be suffering from food insecurities during this time of year to help out with Thanksgiving. And so what will happen is, you can see on there on November 16th, those cards will be distributed through the units. If you have any questions about that, your point of contact is your chaplain and your religious affairs specialist in your unit. If you do not have a chaplain in your unit, your point of contact is the Religious Support Office, and we can be contacted at 531-2669. Lastly, you can see on the bottom there is a phone number that is highlighted. This is the time of year when we start seeing people struggling a little bit. People may be away from home. This is generally can be a difficult time of year for some of our service members. We want to remind you that we have a chaplain on duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You have access to them. If you are a soldier, a dependent, you always have access to them. If you do not write that phone number down for yourself, I encourage you to put it somewhere, tuck it away for a friend that may need it. Pending your questions, that is all that I have. I will be followed by our installation safety team.
Morning, team. Rico Williams, Installation Safety Director. So right now, what we're doing for the Green Suiters, we have a fall-winter safety campaign. All the leadership has those classes that we want to touch on before the holiday season. Two of the most critical things that I want to bring out to the entire audience is carbon monoxide detectors / fire detectors. So twice a year, we're supposed to be changing those batteries fall back and spring forward. So we're about to enter that daylight savings time. I remind people to go ahead and change those batteries. If I visit your residence or your place of business and I hear the detector going off, we're not going to continue the conversation until I get those batteries changed, okay? All right, the short answer on space heaters is no. Okay? There's a process you can go through by contacting DPW / the fire department to get you a memorandum for record to let you use space heaters. I've yet to see anybody go through the entire process. If you would like to know what that process is, give me an email, and then I'll walk you through it to see if you can't get a space heater. But realistically, let's call DPW and get your heat turned on where you work at, okay? All right, so everybody is aware that this installation is a military installation. We have soldiers doing PT all over the place. Now, I want to highlight protected routes versus shared routes. So a protected route is those routes that get closed during PT that soldiers do PT on, and they do it, with the peace of mind knowing that they can traverse that area without fear of being run over by a car, right? So the shared routes, I want to highlight shared routes is routes that soldiers still do PT on, but they'll have a reflective device. If you see soldiers in a shared route, when you see soldiers in a shared route, that does not mean call or make an ICE complaint that soldiers are doing PT in an area that's not protected. That just means it's a shared route. So when they see you, they'll move off to the side of the road, okay? Don't honk at them, don't yell at them, don't curse at them. They're just trying to stay physically fit, all right? And if you do have a problem with the way that they're conducting PT, please get a unit identifier, all right? Saying it was a soldier doesn't help me to try and address your problem. All right, distracted driving is another pet peeve of mine. Just don't do it. And when I tell you don't do it, there's a percentage of this audience, I'd say as high as 40%, that when we leave here, will put their phone on their right hip, fail to put their seatbelt on, and then drive out and then complain when people don't stop when they see them coming. If you're part of the problem, be part of the solution, all right? Educate yourself and then educate the people around you. All right, the last time I was here, we had a blind spot on the installation, which was child seat restraintment. So I'm happy to announce that we do have 2 qualified personnel in my office that will assist you with child seat installation / modification and anything in between. My staff is usually out circulating installation, so if you need this service, please give us a call and we'll have somebody meet you at the office or meet you at the place of your choosing to get that child seat installed for you correctly, okay? And I want to leave you with the holiday season fast approaching, and everybody's got an uncle, a cousin, a husband that's seen some TikTok videos about the best way to fry a turkey. YouTube is a great place to learn some things. So I will challenge you to tell that person, that loved one, as they look at that YouTube video that tells them the best way, or that TikTok video that shows them the best way to fry a turkey, right after they look up the fails. Because the fails will teach you just as much information as the how to do a fried turkey. Any of your questions?
I'm smoking.
I will be followed by Sharp.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ms. Gabriel, and I am the Installation Supervisory Sexual Assault Response Coordinator, otherwise known as the SARC. And I just want to highlight a new initiative that we just started here on JRTC and Fort Johnson called the Sharp Tank. And what this is an opportunity for everyone in the community to get involved and bring us, show us, give us your idea on what you think will help us minimize with the goal of eliminating sexual harassment and sexual assault incidents on Fort Johnson. Now, we have suggestion boxes all around the installation. You may have seen them with a barcode. For your old school folks like myself, we do have suggestion notepads that you can put inside the box. For my new, improved technology advanced personnel, hey, use that barcode on that flyer and send us a quick email with your idea. If your idea is selected, you will be asked to present it at our monthly stakeholders meeting that we have here with the CG. And if your idea is selected as an initiative that we want to pursue on the installation, you will be formally recognized. The prize, don't know what it is yet, but it'll be something really, really good. But we do want to hear from you. So everybody that walks around and say, hey, I'm not the problem, will help us solve the issue. All right, we want to hear from you. If anyone don't have any questions, I'll be followed by, let's see, DES.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to, on behalf of Lieutenant Colonel Murphy, the director of the DES, I'd like to welcome you out for this information exchange and hope you're all having fun. Are we having fun? For those of you not having fun, the garrison commander has directed remedial fun after the fun. Okay, on the installation we have multiple lines of work to deal with stray or nuisance animals. The garrison commander has streamlined that process, so if you have a stray, nuisance animal, or pest control, something of that nature, on the installation, call the dispatch center on the administrative line at 531 COPS. Listed up there on the screen. Then we will route that call, not route the call, but we will then pick up, transfer that call and call the appropriate agency to get you the assistance that you need. If you're dealing with some sort of an aggressive animal or something of that nature, please dial 911 as if it's as in an emergency line so we can get someone out there to assist you as soon as possible. Also, we're currently working on getting all the electric vehicle charging stations with placarded signs to indicate GSA EV vehicles only. That should take place between now and 1 January. Starting after 1 January, the DES will begin ticketing any POV, electric vehicle or otherwise, parked in one of those stations. That's about an $80 ticket with a $35 court cost. So you look at about a $105 ticket and a trip to Lake Charles to go to court should you wish to contest that ticket. Pending any questions, that's all I have for you. I'll be followed by Corvius Housing.
Good morning, everybody. I am Kirk with Corvius. Soon you're going to be seeing that we're going to be driving around. Our techs will be in new vehicles. They're not going to be using their personal vehicles just for identificational purposes. If you'll notice that you'll have one of our vehicles pictured there for identification. Each of the vehicles will be noted with the company name, phone number, and website for easy visibility. And again, we will not have any personal vehicles, so you won't be seeing questioning odd or torn up vehicles riding through your neighborhoods soon. Note that this is going to take several months to get through. We're trying to have everybody in vehicles by the end of the year, but depending on the strike with some of our vehicles, that may take a little bit more time. Also, in November, the events we're going to have Military Family Appreciation starting on the 6th and going through the 9th. There will be gift bags given out for that. And then we're going to do our yearly turkey hunt. We'll start on the 13th and go to the 17th, and then the 20th through the 22nd. So what you'll need to do is, once that starts, get on our Facebook, and the clues will be on their Facebook to where you can find that, and then you'll go to the appropriate office and community center and redeem your prize. December, we're going to be doing our annual Cookies with Santa. Will be on December 1st. And then, since the turkey hunt is such a popular deal, we're going to implement a reindeer hunt, and that will be the week of the 18th through the 22nd as well. And, same thing, clues will be on Facebook, and then you'll come get your prize. Make sure that, just on a side note, that we do have our, please sign up if you're going out of town. Let our communities know, come in and sign up so we can monitor your house while you're gone with the weather conditions that could possibly be happening. Pending any questions, I'll be followed by quality of life.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to interject myself in here. Due to a sudden loss of cabin pressure, I indicated that Colonel Murphy was the DES director, which is incorrect. Lieutenant Colonel Larson, the beautiful, almost bald-headed guy back in the corner over here, is the director of the DES. So please turn your attention to him. Thank you.
Good catch.
All right, I'm going to just touch on this briefly here for the upcoming semi-annual Quality of Life Conference. So some of you might be familiar with this. It's come around a few times, but it's that time again for us. So the event is going to occur on November 15th, but we have until November 10th to RSVP. So you'll see at the very bottom of that flyer, Ms. Kayla Moore's email, as well as a very small QR code to scan and RSVP for that event. So for those of you not familiar with it, this is open to soldiers, civilians, family members. It's open to everyone to come and discuss topics that really affect our soldiers and their family members. So a good opportunity for your voice to be heard at this event and to bring new ideas to the table for the installation. If any questions, we'll go to the next slide, please. So here are your CG Good Conduct units that have received their 3-day pass for good conduct over the course of September. Next slide, please. All right, so for this slide, as we all know, the continuation was extended to 17 November, excuse me. So there's a lot of questions out there about how that is going to affect us and affect us as an installation. So what we've asked, we brought in some of the directors from some of the garrison directorates to briefly go over some of the impacts that may or may not happen with that 17 November cutoff date. So we're just going to kind of go down the line here and have each of them stand up and just let you know those impacts. So we'll start out with DFMWR over with Mr. Cole.
Being a DoD contract, those will continue. And we do have a couple of contract
All right, we'll pass it over to Mr. Jernigan with DPW.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So with DPW and the services that we provide, we're not anticipating any impacts. Most of our services that you see within the community are contracted, so they'll bridge across any shutdown that may happen. So that includes repair and maintenance to real property assets, to your facilities, infrastructure, utilities, along with services, for example, like solid waste. Your dumpsters will continue to be serviced. If you receive custodial services in your facilities, that'll continue as well. So again, we're not anticipating any major impacts should a shutdown occur.
Mr. Guzman with Resource Management Office.
All right, everyone, good morning. So what we'll do is we'll just ensure that we have funding to support all the life, health, safety requirements that the installation has, subject to any questions.
Mr. Funderburk, DES.
Yes, again, working for Lieutenant Colonel Larson. Your DES will continue supporting its law enforcement, firefighting capabilities, and the access control processes on the installation. We will tailor back some of our services, but you rest assured that those folks that need to respond to emergencies, put out those fires, and make sure that you and your loved ones can still access the installation will be available and working during any type of furlough. Thank you.
DPT Mass.
Yeah, for the uniformed personnel in the room, our airfield will be up and operational as if nothing has happened. For the civilians out here and loved ones, our Warrior Operations Center will continue to be up and running. You will see, on a side note, you will see that the 12 giant voice towers will be receiving contact repairs during this time period until the middle of December, but it should not affect any early warning capability we have. We are ending storm season. So far, we've been lucky, knock on wood. That storm out in the Gulf is going to impact Nicaragua and Honduras, so don't worry about it. But red flag today, so still no burning, still no campfires. And keep things inside tonight. Cover your plants because it's gonna freeze warning. Thank you very much.
And I think the last rep we have in here is Corvius.
We're not anticipating any changes. It's going to be business as usual.
No concern with rent, anything like that?
If that happens, we will definitely work with, as we have in the past, we'll work with individuals. We're not seeing that right now.
What do you mean specifically with that?
I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
we have families that have never necessarily been through this, and so I've been hearing, and understandably so, the fear that I'm hearing is, I won't have the money to pay VAH, so what happens? Not just, am I gonna be evicted? I'm saying this is what they're afraid of, not saying it's gonna happen, I know it won't. But also, are they accruing interest, you know?
No interest, no late fees, and we will, again, work with everybody. We're not going to evict anybody.
Right.
Everybody will stay in, and we'll probably just put, as I'm understanding the last time it happened, we just kind of put a hold on everything, and then it will be called back up.
Okay, awesome, thank you so much.
And then for DECA and AFES, the last time we did this battle drill, they were forecasting no impacts for about 60 days. That said, they're kind of a little bit up in the air, like Mr. Cole and NAF's side of the house. So I anticipate little impact to DECA and AFES if it does, but in the long term, that's when we'll start having some questions. So, and we'll continue to monitor those two in particular going forward.
Are there any further questions on this before we move on to alibis? All right, we'll jump to the next slide. All right, alibis ops group. Good. 353rd. 310. 32nd Hospital. 15. 46th. If you could jump to the next slide, please.
All right, good morning, everyone. So, 46 engineers, we're going to have a spaghetti dinner over at the firehouse. It's going to be on November 9th from 1700 to 1900. So we just invite everyone to come out. We're trying to raise funds for our upcoming ball. That's going to be in the spring of next year. So we look forward to seeing you all.
All right, 5/19th. Good. Dentec. Good. All right, 2 slides, please. I'll pass it over to B-Jack.
Nothing?
All right, next slide.
Good, sorry, Mr. Just 2 points that we were very quickly went through. It was a lot of work for the garrison that Mr. Funderbrook talked about on behalf of Colonel Larson. EV charging stations. There's about 8 of them on the installation as we speak right now. Those are the solar tilt rotor ones. And then DPW has about 4 or 5 other ones across the installation. Those will be placarded, and I'm just foot stomping what he said. Those will be placarded as GSA only. There are a lot of personally owned vehicles that plug into them. On January 1st, DES will be ticketing those, and you'll have to go down to Lake Charles to pay those fees. Keep that in the back of your mind. GSA only on those solar charges. We are working with the Army to figure out a solution for paying customers. AFES has kind of strayed away from dealing in electrical charge capability and sticking with gas, but that's something the installation is struggling right now with, making sure that our 49 EV charging stations have the capability to charge so we can do business on the installation. So we will be ticketing those. And the other one was 531 COPS. Does anybody know or remember what 531 COPS was for? 531 COPS is what you call for animals. And that's your singular number. If you see an animal that is a nuisance, a pest, stray, or if you're afraid, you call 911. But 531 COPS, that's the number to call. And that dispatch underneath the great Lieutenant Colonel Larson and Mr. Funderbrook will be able to take care of those animals. Singularity, one number.
It also covers non-emergencies, not just animals.
Oh, yeah. Just to clarify the EV issue, this is of all the 88 installations around the globe, that's a concern that we have going forward. But to be able to bring clarity and get in alignment with regulation, that's why we're doing that. That's not, your leadership trying to tackle you with the problem. That's us tackling a problem writ large for 88 installations. So it's a good point. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next. There you go.
Actually, I will do a shout out. Huge thanks to the team. A lot of great events. I got a lot of great feedback, and I think it goes to our point. We do twice the amount of activities for our size versus a Fort Cavazos. So huge thanks to the team, and really looking forward to the upcoming events. Oh, back over to you, sir.
Perfect. I think we want to do the slide?
Next slide, please.
Yep. There we go.
There we go.
Come on up, ma'am. Ms. Janelle Brown. Inside our money shop. Yeah. Inside the Garrison Money Shop. You can read on the slide, manages over 900 personnel actions and about 700 pieces of equipment. And then if you read a little bit farther down, it says, supporting the Garrison with sensitive and critical special projects. I think that's the team's easy way of saying answering my 3 million questions. So for helping me, helping the Garrison, and helping everybody out here with personnel actions, money actions, and equipment actions. Free parking space, and thank you very much.
All right, and no surprise on this one. We'll get Specialist Robinson up here from Team Protocol. So what I can say about Specialist Robinson, quiet professional behind the scenes, just getting it done every day, and couldn't be more proud of you. I know you will definitely use that parking spot. Works up there in the protocol office, but great job, continue to trust it. And on behalf of General Gardner and I, we're really proud of you. Awesome. Enjoy the parking spot.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That should close us out for the day. Next one is 6 December.
All right.